Wild Adventures is a wildlife theme park located in Valdosta, Georgia. That's South Georgia. It's right off of an interstate when you're going from, like, let's say Orlando up to Atlanta. It's a good stopping point, but the park itself is kind of in the middle of nowhere. They're home to 6 roller coasters, their largest of which are a Vekoma SLC and Boomerang, and they have a couple family coasters. The main thing they're known for, though, are their animal experiences. They offer cool opportunities like up-close sloth encounters and giraffe feeding, 2 things that we actually did not get the opportunity to do while we're there, but hey, that's enough reason for me to want to go back. I want to do that. That sounds cool. But as you're walking along the park, you'll see rides and animals blended together in one all around this lake in the center of the park. Wild Adventures was voted one of the top most affordable parks in the country, and I can see why. Admission is very reasonably priced here in addition to food. So for that reason, I can see this being a big draw for families. The park is quaint and cute. You know, there's not a ton of rides, but they have a decent blend of things to do. And so that's why I think the primary audience here are going to be kids, especially for those who are trying to work their way up to bigger rides like ones you'd find at like Six Flags over Georgia or down in Florida. That being said, it would definitely be nice to see this park receive a little bit more love from Hershend. Yes, this is a Hershend park, the same people that own Dollywood and Silver Dollar City. 2 parks that receive constant investment, and well, this park does not. Let's take a look at a couple stats. The park opened in 1996. 2 years later, they opened Boomerang. The year after that, they opened Twisted Typhoon. And those are currently the largest thrill rides in the park. They have not opened a bigger attraction since. Their most recent coaster was in 2019, which doesn't sound so bad, but it was Swamp Water Snake, which is a kiddie coaster. Before that was 2003, and that was with Swamp Thing. This is a family coaster. Their last thrill coaster was actually the last coaster they removed. That's Cheetah. That was a wooden coaster that I've heard was pretty rough, but at least it rounded out the park's collection, so that's sad to see that that closed. They also used to have another thrill coaster there called Viking Voyage. They removed that in 2018, sent it down to Fun Spot Kissimmee. It now operates there as Hurricane. So the problem here is that we've seen a couple of coasters close the past several years, but nothing has taken its place. So if you've been to other parks, as you're experiencing the coasters at Wild Adventures, things are gonna feel outdated. Not saying that they look run down or anything. I mean, obviously some look better than others, but attractions have progressed so much in the past 10 to 15 years, and this park hasn't seen much of that at all. Like, I feel like the attractions they do have are just dated. And so that's why I really wish that we saw a bit more investment from Hershend. It seems like new additions are few and far between. I don't want to say the park feels forgotten about, but in a way it kind of does, and especially when it doesn't deserve to be. The park has a very fun and charming atmosphere, which is something that I didn't expect. I'll be honest, my expectations were not super high for this park, but they exceeded it because they balance out the lackluster ride lineup with charm and personality. No, the animal side of things isn't going to be quite up to like a Busch Gardens level, but you also have to think about what we're dealing with here. This is like a family park. It's not too big at all. They have some pretty cool animal encounters. You know, entire pathways where you just look left to right and you see all these different creatures. An entire even wooded section where it feels like you're in the backwoods of Georgia. But in walking around, I definitely at least gathered that it seems like rides are not like the top priority here necessarily. I think the animals really are the main draw, but they also offer some other experiences. Like, they have a concert venue, so they host people throughout the year, which is pretty cool. There's various restaurants in the park where people will eat and drink. Even though this is a Hershend park and they typically don't serve alcohol, you can get alcohol at Wild Adventures, which I thought was actually pretty surprising. I didn't expect that. This area right here alongside the lake is pretty nice though. A lot of people will sit out with their drinks. There's cornhole, a very modern kind of hangout area. It looked very nice. Some good views right up against the water. And the food actually is pretty good. We got to try some barbecue that wasn't bad at all. They also make homemade pretzels that I definitely recommend getting. So all these things are indicators in my mind that it seems like the people that run this park have found their niche. They figured out what guests there are most interested in, and that's where they pour their time and investment. But I still hope we see something cool, new, and fresh here in the future, because in my opinion, it's sad when attractions get taken out and there's nothing to really take its place. It just makes it feel off balance. Like, even though I never rode Cheetah and walking around Wild Adventures, it just felt like something was missing. Like, they are missing that one ride, and even if Cheetah wasn't the greatest, it seemed like that was like the ride here, you know? I do wonder if the park's location is a big reason why the park doesn't get a ton of investment, but I don't know, I could be totally wrong there. This is all coming from someone who has been to Wild Adventures once, the different things that I picked up on and noticed. Bottom line is, I mean, we had a fun time when we went. I think for what it is, the park isn't bad at all. I mean, here's the way I see it. Okay, so this is probably still the weakest Hershend park, right? I still think it's better run than like the weakest Six Flags or Cedar Fair parks. I mean, you compare this place to Michigan's Adventure, even with a similar ride collection, Wild Adventures is a heck of a lot better than that place. This park actually has atmosphere and charm. But I think to conclude things, I mean, do I recommend Wild Adventures? Yes, and also no. If you're a coaster enthusiast, I'll be honest, there really isn't much here for you. I don't think it's a place you really need to go out of your way for. If you're a family in the nearby area looking for something to do for like a half day, see some animals, ride a couple rides, then yeah, Wild Adventures is great, you know? Definitely gonna be a lot more affordable than some of the parks down south. So I think you just have to weigh a couple of those things before you visit. Know what to expect before you go. And who knows, maybe you'll be pleasantly surprised too. But those are just my thoughts on Wild Adventures located in southern Georgia. Let me know down in the comment section below if you've been here, if you agree with the points that I've brought up. If you think I missed anything, let me know what. And stay tuned for more park reviews here at Coaster Studios, and we'll see you next time.